Hey, it's Colleen.
Hi, it's Kate.
And it's Megan.
And we're the
Three Scheme Queens.
Each Tuesday, we take you on a deep dive into one of our favorite conspiracy theories.
If you have a sense of humor and an open mind, come take this journey with us.
We'll tell you what we think, and we'll try to prove it to you. Is this thing on?
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back. Where's our third?
Miss Kate. She is hunting for a turkey. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yeah, I hope you guys are driving somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're road tripping, listening to the podcast on your way to your family's Thanksgiving or your Friendsgiving or whatever you're doing.
I hope you use some of our episodes as conversation starters that are neutral. Maybe avoid
Well, we know the moon landing can be a hot
It's like
from firsthand experience, so maybe avoid that one.
yeah, there's a lot you should maybe avoid. But you could always talk about eels. You can always talk about dolphins and octopi.
Sure, for sure. Talk about any of our animals.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Oh my God. I love to eat. So Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays. I think I really like the stuffing, but it's gotta be a mushy stuffing. And then if not stuffing, then mashed potatoes.
Yeah, who doesn't love mashed?
But they have to have homemade gravy.
Okay.
If it's not homemade gravy, I'm not. Well, I'll eat the mashed potatoes, but like
Okay. Do you put gravy in your turkey?
everything.
Yeah.
I put gravy on everything, even the sweet potato, like and the stuff, like it all. It's like you fill the plate, and then you just frost it with gravy.
Do you guys potluck it? Like, does everyone bring a dish or?
Yeah, I think whoever hosts makes the turkey normally, and now that we're all grown, like the cousins are bringing a lot of. I'm not because I have to travel, and I'm traveling day of, so I am the present. But all the cousins are grown, so they're all bringing dishes.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, I definitely like the sides. Thanksgiving's like not really my favorite holiday.
Oh my gosh!
But I like the stuffing, the mashed potatoes.
Do you like
All
stuffing
carbs.
with meat in it?
Sometimes Colleen from New Hampshire, she always makes like a sausage cornbread stuffing. It's pretty good.
That.
I don't always love like cranberry.
Oh no,
stuffing.
No, it's gonna be savory only.
Otherwise, I've never met a stuffing I didn't like.
You know what I mean? I love a good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would skip desserts to just have extra plates of main meals, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Thanksgiving should be like, well, I mean, hopefully you eat early enough and then you decompress and then you can go back for dessert.
But I would just go back for seconds.
I got you.
Like,
I will say, I got up the morning after Friendsgiving and I was like, can I just have a cold turkey sandwich? And
oh my God.
Cold turkey sandwich with leftovers. I do love that the day after.
I always have Thanksgiving shit on a shingle, which is like toast with mashed potatoes, turkey gravy. And that was my favorite meal after Thanksgiving. Cranberry sauce.
Thanksgiving should be like a wedding where when you get your cake to go and then you get back to your hotel room and you get all like snug in your pajamas and then you like eat the piece of cake.
Ugh. It's like 9 o'clock and you have round 2 because you like spent the day was so early.
So is it time for our
drink check?
We have kind of a fall holiday cocktail.
Yeah, actually, it's quite delicious.
Yeah, Mermaid Girl brought over from Trader Joe's the cranberry ginger brew, like sparkling. It's not really a seltzer because
it's like a juice, sparkled juice.
And we made some cranberry mules.
Yeah, it pulls very ginger.
Yeah,
little cran, but it's delicious.
We just mixed it in the can. So Colleen said it was cold enough. No ice cubes needed.
It satisfied my needs for right now.
I love that.
I like that it's a mini can though. That's helpful.
Yeah, it's perfect quantity.
Yeah, perfect proportions.
Yeah. So this recipe was a suggestion from Mermaid Girl. So shout out to her.
Gracias.
You got one that all 3 Scheme Queens enjoyed.
It's a rarity.
It is. It is hard. It is hard to impress these girls. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Okay, so we're having a festive Thanksgiving themed holiday or themed episode this week.
We're talking about conspiracies around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's not super conspiracy. I think it's maybe more of just some like misnomers and some maybe some fun trivia you didn't know and some of the ways we've been lied to.
Is it about the first Thanksgiving?
Well, that's one of them.
I know it's very inaccurate.
So today we're slipping on our coziest sweaters, filling our mugs with something seasonally spiced, and diving headfirst into the great American holiday of misconceptions. Thanksgiving is stuffed with myths, misnomers, and stories that have been reheated so many times they've basically turned into folklore. So in this episode, we're going to carve into some of the most persistent ones. What is the true origin story of the holiday? Did Ben Franklin really campaign for the turkey to be our national bird? Or is that just a factoid people like to drop between bites of stuffing? What's the true, somewhat mystical sounding origin of the wishbone tradition, and how did we collectively decide to snap poultry anatomy for luck? And of course, pumpkin pie, the beloved dessert that ironically is almost never made from actual pumpkin. So settle in, maybe grab a plate of leftovers, and let's untangle the tall tales hiding behind this very American celebration.
Who doesn't make pumpkin pie with puree pumpkin? That's the only recipe I've ever followed.
But when you add that puree pumpkin, is it actually pumpkin?
What are they
If
putting
everybody could just see Colleen's face right now.
What are they putting in the cans? Well, that's like what I learned about like the apple pie at McDonald's. It's made out of potatoes.
No, it's not.
That's what they say.
We got to fact check that. Who's they?
I don't know. You know, them. Capital T.
Okay.
I actually like I'm going to be amazed by the pumpkin pie one because the can says pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's not pumpkin?
So let's start with, did you know that Benjamin Franklin opposed the bald eagle as our national symbol and instead wanted the turkey to represent our nation?
I do think I knew that, but is that true?
Sort of. So back in 1782, the bald eagle was first used as a symbol of America and incorporated into the United States seal. It had taken 6 years for Congress to come to this decision, but what if I told you that the bald eagle was selected despite Benjamin Franklin's vocal opposition? For centuries now, the story of Franklin's failed campaign for the turkey to be the symbol of America has circulated.
Well, Ben Franklin's famous for more than just this, obviously. But can you imagine like being known for the guy who just really was into turkeys and then you didn't even win in the end? Embarrassing.
So cringe. Rumors circulated that Franklin was trolling Congress and attempted to see how much he could get away with. Other rumors claim that he lost a bet. In either version, the eagle beat the turkey by 1 vote, and as a result, the bald eagle became associated with the United States. So,
Do you know who the winning vote was?
well, this is the story.
Oh, okay. Now we're gonna
And
fact
it's
check.
not quite accurate.
I was like 1 vote? We really could have been the turkey country.
United States, yeah.
I will say, bald eagle's really cool from the side. You look them dead on, ridiculous. Permission to keep this in, but I don't think you would. Turkeys' heads look like ball sacks. That would be horrendous to have that as a symbol.
So let's rewind
Rewind? Why?
to another American holiday,
Okay.
July 4th, 1776. What happened that day?
We won.
We didn't really.
We became independent. That was the declaration.
That was the day we signed the Declaration of
But
Independence.
we didn't win. That's when we started the fight. You know where I think I knew that, though?
U.S. history.
National treasure.
So the Declaration of Independence had just been signed, and the
Okay.
founding fathers recognized that the U.S. needed an official seal to affix on documents.
Oh.
A committee was formed, which included Benjamin Franklin and 2 other stars of Hamilton, John Adams.
Madison.
Sit down, John Adams.
Oh, yeah.
And Thomas Jefferson.
Right. Obviously.
It took them 6 years to create a seal.
Okay, wait. A woman could have done that in half.
So
Why did it take them 6 years? Has the symbol... I have too many follow-up questions. I mean, I guess they had so many other things.
the 3
going
of
on.
them didn't really agree. Well, it was sort of like there were 3 different committees. There's a committee, they put something out. People are like, we don't like that. Years go by. They like create another committee. They put something out. We don't like that. Years go by.
Okay. All right.
So, and this was the first committee, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson. Initially, Benjamin Franklin proposed a depiction of Moses dividing the Red Sea and the motto, rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God. John Adams proposed Hercules, like a depiction of Hercules, And Jefferson, the children of Israel in the wilderness.
Very religious.
Yes. They had Pierre Eugene du Simitiere tried to incorporate all of their ideas into one sketch with the motto E pluribus unum, which is out of many one. Did you hear that in National Treasure?
Was that one of the codes?
But I don't know because it's the only part that actually ended up.
Is that on the dollar?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm pretty certain this might be the scene where he uses a water bottle as like the magnifying glass.
Okay, they submitted the design to Congress on August 20th, 1776. So really it was like only over a month.
Okay.
And then they were like, let's table this discussion. No one could agree. 1780, a new committee was formed. An idea was sketched out by Francis Hopkinson, who was a signer of the Declaration. And he also is recognized as having like designed the first American flag.
Okay. Not Betty?
Betsy?
Right.
I thought Betsy just sewed it.
Oh.
So he creates a seal. Again, nothing comes of it. A third committee also couldn't get a concept approved. Finally, in 1782, Charles Thompson, the secretary of the Continental Congress, he's like, we just need a frickin' seal here. We got important things to
Right.
note. So he just takes like all these concepts that had been submitted in these previous committees and creates the seal we have today, which is a bald eagle with 13, he's holding like that.
With the olive branch.
With the 13 stripes and the olive branch. And it has the motto E pluribus unum, which is the one from the very first.
Okay.
So it was submitted and approved by Congress on the same day. So suddenly things can happen quickly. Now it's taken 6 years. A brass die was cut in September, and the seal was used for the first time on documents authorizing George Washington to negotiate for an exchange of POWs.
Interesting.
The seal, though, like I said, is on the dollar bill. We're always referencing
there's a lot of Freemason references.
Yes.
Well, because all of these men
were Freemasons. So there's like the unfinished pyramid that has 13 steps to signify the 13 colonies. It has like the all-seeing eye in the triangle surrounded by rays of light, signifying divine guidance and favor believed to be with America. Interesting. And then, yes, it does have the motto, Annuit Queptus, he has favored our undertakings. And then I thought this was creepy. Below the pyramid, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means new order of the ages. Like a
new order.
Yeah.
The New World Order.
Yep. And then it has the Roman numerals for 1776. So this is how the whole debate comes to be about the bald eagle, which is depicted on the seal. In January 1784, Franklin wrote a letter to his daughter saying, "For my own part, I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen as a representative of our country." And that is really the root of the whole rumor.
There was no turkey involved?
Well, in this letter, which I'll tell you here, he talks about how symbolically maybe turkey is better than a bald eagle, but I don't think that they were sitting there like debating.
Give one reason why turkey would be better than bald eagle.
I'll tell you why. He says, others object to the bald eagle as looking too much like a turkey. For my own part, I wish the bald eagle had not been chosen as a representative of our country. He is a bird of bad moral character. He does not give his living honestly. You may have seen him perched on some dead tree near the river, where too lazy to fish for himself, he watches the labor of the fishing hawk. And when that diligent bird has at length taken a fish and is bearing it to his nest for the support of his mate and young ones, the bald eagle pursues him and takes it from him. With all this injustice, he is never in good case, but like those among men who live by sharping and robbing, he is generally poor and often very lousy. So that's why he was opposed to the bald eagle. And he says, I am on this account not displeased that the figure is not known as a bald eagle, but looks more like a turkey. For in truth, the turkey is in comparison a much more respectable bird, withal a true original native of America. Eagles have been found in all countries, but the turkey was peculiar to ours, the first of the species seen in Europe being brought to France by the Jesuits from Canada and served up at the wedding table of Charles IX. He is besides, though a little vain and silly, a bird of courage, and would not hesitate to attack a grenadier of the British Guards who should presume to invade his farmyard with a red coat on. So he just thought that the turkeys were a little more...
did he look at a turkey head before? I'm just like, they look like...
Yeah.
Like, they look phallic. Which I guess would be an American symbol. Because we're slinging it around at that time. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do like it that it's like a native to America or whatever.
Yeah.
But like there are certain eagles native to America.
No, but his point too is like a bald eagle just watches some other bird steal a fish and then and then steals it, but like doesn't do any of the work themselves. They're not honest.
They look patriotic when they do it.
I know. Well, that's also
Yeah. We've made it patriotic.
But yeah. Okay, so that was just like my little turkey tidbit. So
Okay, so he just said it in passing. He didn't even present it to the court.
So don't brag. Like, don't, when you're at Thanksgiving, don't be like, hey guys, fun fact. Benjamin Franklin almost had the turkey as our national animal because debunked, not true.
Yeah.
How about the theory that Thanksgiving is all just a holiday propagated by Butterball and the turkey industry to sell turkeys?
So you're telling me the Pilgrims did not have a dinner?
Well, let me tell you about it.
I know they did, but it was not the way it's presented.
I actually think it is not that different from what is presented. It's not 100% accurate, but I think more so why people take offense with it is because everything that came after that, like, we should have this like lovely peaceful depiction,
Because it was.
when a decade later
Well,
the Pilgrims are killing the Native Americans.
the quote first Thanksgiving was because the Pilgrims were starving.
Well, let me tell you about it. So the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth in what year?
1600 something? No, I don't know.
Didn't you used to have Pilgrim Day at school?
No, I never had that.
You said you had something.
We did have that, but was it around Thanksgiving? I was a tailor. I dressed up as a tailor. I forgot all about that in 5th grade. I had to organize it myself. My mom was busy. I just remember being a tailor.
It took Pauline until she was like 26 to figure out
My shoe size.
that her feet were not supposed to just bust out of shoes after a couple months.
Yeah, I remember in 5th grade I had the Uggs, and I wore them, and my big toe popped through them.
So it's ironic that you were the. Oh, well, I guess you said you were the tailor. You were sewing things. I was
a tailor, not the cobbler.
not the
Yeah,
tailor.
no.
Okay.
No, I was a tailor. I remember being it. It was crazy. I wanted to be the butter people because I wanted to make butter.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to have a presentation about being a tailor. No, I have no idea what year. It was 16 something.
We can make butter any old time.
I know.
I think this is the story that we've all heard. Okay. Pilgrims landed in Plymouth in 1620. They were met by the local indigenous people who helped them to survive. And after surviving their first year, they had a feast of dishes based on ingredients native to the Americas: turkey, potato, sweet potato, corn, squash, particularly pumpkin, green beans, and cranberries. The 3-day-long feast was a celebration of friendship. But this isn't all accurate. So in reality, the Wampanoag tribe approached the colonists after 4 months of careful and quiet observation, and the approach was a political strategy as the indigenous people had had negative interactions with previous settlers.
I.e. Pocahontas.
They proposed an alliance. The colonists would help them fight another tribe that they were in opposition with, and allow them access to trade. In return, the Pilgrims would have access to resources. The agreement was brokered by Disquantum of Squanto. He was a Wampanoag, who had been kidnapped by the crew of an English ship in 1614, sold into slavery in Spain, escaped to England, learned English, and returned to North America in 1619.
Wow.
And when he came back, his tribe had been wiped out by smallpox from settlers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Pilgrims were settling on the land he had previously lived on. So it's kind of sad that this is the man who is now the translator who must broker this peace treaty.
That's sad.
Apparently, the Pilgrims were doing a celebration of the harvest as they had unofficially been doing for centuries. So in general, it was sort of like a religious, these like days of like prayer and fasting, and then sometimes followed by feasting, was sort of routinely done before a harvest and after a harvest. So this was sort of like a multi-times a year this sort of thing happened.
Right.
And
it wasn't just.
No. And so the Pilgrims were having the celebration of the harvest as they had unofficially been doing for centuries. And accounts suggest that the Wampanoag arrived after hearing gunshots from a harvest celebration and came to investigate, initially fearing an attack. So they roll up thinking there's a fight happening. And then they're like, oh, wait, it's a party?
Hold up.
There's also stories that one of the leaders had been making diplomatic calls at this time. But again, they did sit down and have this meal. It was mostly, actually, the food was mostly brought by the Wampanoag people.
That's what I knew, yeah.
They brought deer. Or
not even turkey.
Or some other type of cooked fowl. But they think it was most likely duck, not turkey.
Crazy.
They also ate cranberries, vegetables, cornmeal, and pumpkin, but not in the form of pumpkin pie. We're going to talk about pumpkin pie. We know that England, the colonies, did not popularize potatoes for nearly another century. So,
Wait, you're telling me potatoes aren't native?
well, I guess if we're trying to debunk the other food that could potentially have been served here, because when I read that list at first, you were like, they didn't eat that. You didn't
Yeah,
eat that,
I
right?
knew they had cranberry because that's native to Massachusetts.
Well, cranberries, maybe. Cranberry sauce did not appear until 1912 when the Caribbean sugar was available.
Could have told you that.
Libby released canned pumpkins in 1929, and that's when pumpkin pie became a staple. Like, pumpkin pies were not big, in the 1800s and the
Right.
1700s and the 1600s. The original feast in 1621 occurred sometime between September 21st and November 11th. So it was like a one-off sort of thing. Like I said, they sort of did these every now and then, but there was no annual tradition like every year we're going to get together, we're going to celebrate
Okay.
that we work together, right? New Englanders began celebrating kind of more consistently nearly a century later. And again, it was this religious custom of spending days fasting, feasting, and praying as a way to give thanks.
What were they all? They were Quakers?
Pilgrims, Puritans, and Quakers were three different groups of people.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So the governor would randomly pick these days and say,
Be thankful.
I'm declaring Thanksgiving. And then the New Englanders would celebrate. And there were a couple random national Thanksgiving days where people would just say, today is the National Thanksgiving Day. In fact, George Washington declared one in 1789.
But they weren't it wasn't the Thanksgiving we know today.
Exactly. It did not become an annual tradition until the 1800s when Sarah Josepha Hale, author of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Yep. She was a
Mary Had a Little Lamb is that old? Whoa.
Oh, this is a fun fact I found for you. So she was an author, but her husband died. Her husband was a Freemason. Husband died. She becomes this author. And the way she got published is because the Freemasons financed her.
Suspicious. Maybe Mary Had a Little Lamb has another meaning.
Oh. She served as the editor of Ladies Magazine from 1828 to 1836, and she was the first female editor ever. During that time, she spent decades writing hundreds of letters to politicians, ministers, newspapers, and 5 presidents advocating that the last Thursday in November be set aside to, quote, offer to God our tribute of joy and gratitude for the blessings of the year, end quote. So in September of 1863, she wrote an editorial, she sent a letter to Abraham Lincoln advocating for a shared North and South holiday to encourage unity. On October 3rd, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued this Thanksgiving Day proclamation. Again, and the goal was to unite this war-divided country. He was not the first president to issue a Thanksgiving proclamation, but because of Abraham Lincoln, we have this national
Holiday.
annual tradition.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have the mystery behind? Well, maybe we talked about this in the Mandela episode, how everybody always thinks it's the third Thursday. I have always had it in my head that it's the third Thursday of November, but it's not.
So it was for a while. Abraham Lincoln made it the 4th.
Okay.
Then FDR changed the date to the 3rd Thursday of the month.
Okay.
Because in 1933, there were 5 Thursdays, and he wanted it to be moved earlier because he didn't want the retail to be impacted, the Christmas shorten the Christmas shopping length of time. It was all about the economy. So he changed the date. So yeah, FDR in 1939, he moved Thanksgiving to the second to last Thursday to extend the Christmas shopping.
Okay.
But some states are mad about this. They're we're not going to change the rule. So people in different states were celebrating Thanksgiving on 2 different days.
That's great.
So then in 1941, Congress says, we're going to go back 4th Thursday in November. This is the holiday, and we're all going to celebrate it together.
Okay. Every once in a while, it's not the last Thursday of the month.
Yeah.
It's the 4th.
There's 5 Thursdays in a month, and it's
going to be on the 4th.
Yeah.
That's why I get confused.
It is confusing because it feels late this year.
It does feel late.
Okay, so that's the history of Thanksgiving. But going back to the question about obviously Butterball has not been around long enough to have created Thanksgiving as this way to sell turkeys. But again, turkeys weren't even served in the first Thanksgiving or for quite some time. So where did the turkey come into play?
Hold on, wait. When you first started that second question, I didn't even know what Butterball was.
Butterball's the turkey company.
I had no idea.
That's who you buy your.
I thought you were talking about the butter balls. So how some people have balls of butter at their Thanksgivings or turkey shaped butter. That whole time I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, the turkey company.
Oh my God.
So Sarah Josepha Hale, again, that same author I told you about, was a writer, and she wrote about Thanksgiving. She sounds like she was just really into Thanksgiving.
She was just thankful.
In her 1827 novel, Northwood, and described a large bird with gravy and stuffing. She said, the roasted turkey took precedence on this occasion, being placed at the head of the table, and well did become its lordly station, sending forth the rich odor of its savory stuffing, and finally covered with the frost of the basting. Bowls of gravy and plates of vegetables disposed in that quarter. There was a huge plum pudding, custards, and pies of every name and description ever known in Yankee land. Yet the pumpkin pie occupied the most distinguished niche.
I gotta be honest. I think chicken's better than turkey.
Or
I
ham.
think it makes a better gravy.
Although
I think it cooks better.
I really never love the turkey. I never enjoy the turkey at Thanksgiving.
I like the turkey leg.
I will say my brother fries a turkey now.
Oh,
It's a tradition,
Mm.
and it is it's definitely moist. Like, it's not as dried out,
yeah.
and so I do enjoy that more
I always like the dark meat more. I'm like
because it's moist.
moist.
And so that's really the first time, 1820s, the first time it's ever been referenced anywhere in writing about a turkey at Thanksgiving. So it's probably from her book. And it is known that in the 1800s, there were about 10 million wild turkeys in the United States. So this is like an optimal animal. You can feed a lot of people from the size. You don't really want to kill your chickens, right? Because they're laying eggs.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
Your
but
ducks also give you eggs, so
do a lot of people have just like ducks running around?
no, I guess not. But you
They-
can't feed a lot of people.
They were relatively easy to raise in captivity. And again, the Butterball patent, the company Butterball,
Right.
'1 seller of turkeys,
Now I know.
was patented in 1940, and the company was founded in 1954. So centuries
Later.
centuries later. So no, if you're just a curmudgeon out there who's like, Valentine's Day was created by Nestle and Thanksgiving Day was created by Butterball,
Wrong.
wrong.
Ooh, wrong. You can tell me about the pie
I want
now.
to tell you about the pumpkin. Before we even talk about what's in that pumpkin pie, did you know that the pumpkin pie is a symbol of Northern aggression?
Like in the Civil War?
Yes, like North versus South. Southerners would not eat it because this was like a symbol
Oh, no wonder I love it.
of their Northern enemies.
I love pumpkin pie. Of all the desserts, pumpkin pie is normally my favorite. And it's mostly because I serve it with whipped cream.
Remember how I told you that Thanksgiving was celebrated in New England before Abraham Lincoln made it a national holiday in hopes of unifying the North and the South? That's what I told you, right?
Okay.
Well, the South was really not into this mandated Thanksgiving. Like, this is just anti-slavery propaganda. And
Kidding me.
in their minds, there was nothing more Yankee than pumpkin pie.
Well, I guess turkeys aren't really in the South. And I guess they don't really have pumpkins down there.
I mentioned that quote from the book that Hale wrote, saying that the celebrated pumpkin pie was an indispensable part of a good and true Yankee Thanksgiving.
Right.
The first American cookbook was made of traditional New England recipes, and it included 2 recipes for pumpkin pie, likely because the main ingredients were, as you mentioned, squash and molasses, which are most often found in New England. So just an interesting tidbit that their Southerners hated pumpkin pie for what it represented, and they had to create their own version, which is how we got
Pecan pie?
sweet potato pie.
Oh.
Yum.
Oh, I like sweet potato pie too because it comes with the marshmallows.
I had never I'd never had sweet potato pie until I went to school in the South, and I used to go like home with my roommates to go to like church, and then their like Southern post church brunch,
And they would have that.
and their moms were always making sweet potato pie.
It's sickening sweet. Like,
So
I can have
not
like,
any sweeter than pumpkin pie.
yeah, but like, it feels different. I like a crumble. Apple crumble, way better than apple pie. Oh, is apple pie in this? Because like, that's an American symbol. Is that Yankee? They don't really have apples down there.
Well, down where in the South?
Yeah. What's the fruit down south? Oranges? Orange pie?
Blackberries, peaches,
Oh, peaches.
oranges.
All about peaches.
Oh, pawpaws. Yes.
I don't know what a pawpaw is.
It looks like an avocado, but it tastes like a banana. I've
That's
got a pawpaw plant out there, but I had 2 because they got to fertilize each other, and one of them got knocked over. So
that sounds nasty. What did
Try-
you make with
I
the
tried to
pawpaw?
I made pawpaw bread, which tastes like banana bread. I made pawpaw bread. I made pawpaw cocktails at the
I
lake.
literally never heard of that.
I would
plant
not
before.
recommend the pawpaw. There's a there's like a
What do they look like?
there's a song
I've literally never heard of these before. This is an American fruit. Way down yonder in the pawpaw patch.
Yeah, Pawpaw song.
I've literally never heard of pawpaw.
Anyway,
Something I'm just feel like there's something wrong with pawpaws.
okay. Well, you know what? We're gonna go pick some pawpaws next year.
Okay. Okay, so they would have sweet
So-
potato pie. We would have pumpkin pie.
Okay, so that's just a fun story, but really the greater conspiracy, if you will, is that most of our pumpkin pie not made with real pumpkins.
Wait, my favorite part right now is I'm looking at Megan's notes as she's reading this, and she's made sure to put yum after sweet potato pie.
So 90% of the pumpkin sold in the United States, 85% sold worldwide, is actually Dickinson squash, which are the question is it a type of pumpkin, right? They look
Yeah.
very different. So this kind of came out in wait,
Bring me a
wait,
picture of it, yeah. She says, "What, you want to see it?" I always want to see it. She's had visuals this whole time. That's a pumpkin.
so
That is a pumpkin.
it's a little more gourd like.
It's
Looks
it's
like
pumpkin.
it's like
know-
long and
They look like giant. You know the giant pumpkin competitions? They look like small versions of whatever that is.
okay. So this all came to light in 2016. I got this from Snopes. Okay,
Okay,
Facebook article circulated that said
we're not eating pumpkin.
pumpkin puree, the canned orange stuff that's lining the supermarket walls right now, the stuff you use to make all your favorite fall desserts. It's labeled 100% pumpkin. Yes, well, it's actually made from 100% not pumpkin. The mix is made from a variety of winter squash. Think butternut, golden delicious, Hubbard, and more. Libby's, the brand that produces about 85% of the country's canned pumpkin filling, pumpkin in quotes, has actually developed a certain variety of squash that they grow, package, and distribute to supermarkets across the country, all the while fooling innocent, trusting consumers into believing they're eating a pumpkin. As it turns out, pumpkins be fairly stringy and watery. Certain varieties of winter squash make a richer, sweeter puree that works way better for packing the now ambiguous flavor we all love into our favorite fall dishes. The USDA declared that this was completely legal to call something a pumpkin when in reality is made from a different squash because our description of pumpkin versus gourd is so vague. USDA is like, whatever, it's all the same.
Oh, like what is a gourd? Because gourd equals
Squash. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Squash. What is
'Cause
pumpkin?
gourd equals squash and a pumpkin, right? Like they're all in the gourd family. So I guess it could be a pumpkin, right? Like square is a rectangle.
This initial poster implied like everything that we associate with fall, like our pumpkin spice lattes, our
Is
pumpkin
squash.
bread, it's all just squash.
That's
right?
crazy.
So they're ranting. Libby's releases a statement. Pumpkin is a variety of squash belonging to the Cucurbitaceae
Cucurbitaceae.
or gourd family, which also includes melons and cucumbers. So Libby's is like, really, we could be calling all these things
Pumpkins.
pumpkins, yeah. Gourds, melons and cucumbers.
And zucchini, right?
Libby's proudly uses 100% pumpkin in our Libby's solid pack pumpkin. We do not use Hubbard squash or other types of squash. In fact, Libby's uses a specific cultivar of pumpkin called Dickinson. The Libby Select strain of Dickinson is our own, developed over decades by our own agricultural people. Dickinson pumpkins are considered the king of eating pumpkins. So pretty much they created their own breed of
pumpkin
squash, which they're calling a pumpkin. And yeah, that's probably what's in.
Do they have a patent?
I'm sure.
Like, can we grow Dickinsons? I want to do that now. My mom grew a pumpkin one time.
One time.
It's really hard to get one pumpkin out of a plant. Oh, you can't grow your own.
Oh, looks like they got Dickinson pumpkin seeds for sale.
Ooh.
But they're calling them pumpkin seeds. But I guess that's the
they're
whole.
calling it a pumpkin.
How can you differentiate pumpkin, squash, gourd? That's the question.
I mean, these do look pumpkin-y. They do look like a squash pumpkin.
It just looks more like long and narrow. It looks
And
more like
paler.
planty shaped or
Yeah.
like
But like with a pumpkin vibe. The way that they're
oh my gosh, look at how red that is on the inside.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
why it's
light on the outside and then it's like red on the inside.
well, yeah, because like if you use like the pumpkins we use for jack-o'-lanterns, like they don't look like that, even after you cook them. Okay, so squash pumpkin.
And then the very last thing, do you guys at your household Do you and your siblings and your cousins all fight over the wishbone?
No, never once. I didn't even know that that was a thing. Probably for good reason. There were so many of us. If we had to fight over a wishbone, we would draw blood.
All right. Well, you're familiar with the
You like two people grab it and then you pull it and it breaks.
and
And you get a wish.
the person who gets the bigger half because it's inevitably
Somebody gets like
it's like a Y, right?
yeah,
So inevitably someone will get like the
but it's a vertebrae,
it is the furcula,
right? Oh, I didn't know this word.
which is the fusion of the two clavicles on a bird.
Only birds have these.
It is located between a bird's neck and breastbone, and it helps them fly. Did you know? This is interesting. They were probably doing this at Plymouth Rock.
Right.
So the ancient civilization of the Etruscans in 800 to 300 BC believed that birds were oracles. They would attempt to predict the future. They would lay out Etruscan letters, and watch where the chickens pecked to help predict the future. They also harvested the wishbones whenever they slaughtered a chicken and would set it out to dry to preserve the powers, hence the name wishbone. So the Romans adopted this tradition. So they used to like lay them out to dry and people would just walk by and rub it and make a wish and keep going on their way.
Right.
And that's how it got the name wishbone. So the Romans adopted the tradition, but there was a supply and demand issue, which is probably you can relate to, right?
Right.
Yeah, one turkey and 20 kids. What do you got?
Yeah. Fight.
So the Romans started making this like we got to break the furcula, so that there's more wishbone to go around. The England adopted this tradition as far back as the 1400s when they would break them to bless the harvest with good weather, and then later, two single people would break it to predict who would get married first.
Cute.
So they likely did do this at Plymouth Rock because the Brits were doing it in the 1400s, but they probably were doing it with chickens because, as we said, probably not turkeys present at the first Thanksgiving.
Right.
Because as I mentioned, the transition to turkey didn't come around till the 1800s when there was this abundance of wild turkeys. The term wishbone was first coined by the Sun newspaper in Baltimore, Maryland in 1842. And did you know that this is where the phrase "a lucky break" comes from?
I don't think I knew that phrase.
Because lore states that if you could break the wishbone perfectly,
That's a lucky break.
then both people will get their wish granted, and that is a lucky break.
How often does that happen?
I don't think it ever.
Probably. Oh.
Also, you guys wouldn't make because you had to like lay this out and dry, and I don't feel like you're like a delayed.
Oh, you don't crack it while it's wet?
It won't crack while it's wet.
How?
So like my mom would
I
just
mean,
like
it's still a bone.
leave it on the sill, let it dry out.
Oh, yeah. I don't
I
think
think you can put it in the oven for a minute. Also,
every turkey comes with one.
yes,
Never even seen it in the kitchen.
I would.
My uncle must be putting it somewhere.
All right. Did you learn anything new about Thanksgiving?
Yeah. I mean, I have a new perspective on squash.
Okay. Now you're gonna.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna look at a cucumber and be like, "Is that what do we call that?"
Is this a pumpkin?
Yeah.
And I call this a pumpkin.
Okay. You're no longer gonna tell people that we could have had the turkey as our national animal.
Yeah, I wasn't telling people that in the beginning anyways, but wasn't even doing that.
Don't take a pumpkin pie to your southern friends.
Yeah. I'm gonna eat my pumpkin pie and be like, Yankee Doodle Doo. Every time. Yeah, what an American holiday. But then it makes me question, what are the Canadians celebrating?
Well,
And what
again,
do they have at their Thanksgiving?
I think again the Canadian. Well, I mean, Thanksgiving itself is not like a American holiday. It's just like it was really a religious. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that learning how religious it was. Wow, theirs looks very similar to us.
it's the same. No, they celebrate pretty much the same thing. It's a harvest festival, but they have a colder. It's colder up there, so their harvest comes earlier in the year.
And they have turkey.
It sounds like it's kind of a similar thing. Oh, but they celebrate on a Monday, so they get a 3-day weekend. Well, I guess
That feels wrong.
Thursday's better because we always get a Friday off, right?
Well, not everybody gets Friday off, but
Girl, not everyone gets Thursday off.
I know. I'm like,
Well, I hope you're listening to this podcast, Colleen, on your way up to.
yeah. Hopefully I'll be flying. We'll find out.
Guys, just a reminder, don't forget to check out our Facebook and Instagram pages at 3 Scheme Queens. That's the number 3 Scheme Queens, all one word. We're also on Reddit, same username. If you want to check out our website, go to 3schemequeens.com and you can find links to our social media accounts, our Buzzsprout page, all of our episodes, additional content, and our contact page where you can engage with us and share any updates on the topics that we have discussed. Let us know how we're doing and what you want to hear next. There are also opportunities to financially support us, with links to buy us a cup of coffee and links to our merch store. As always, if you choose not to financially support us, we appreciate the follows, the downloads, the listens, the likes.
What should the people do?
The people should stop right now, take out their phone, and send this to 3 people who are either turkey is their favorite part of the meal or pumpkin pie is their favorite part of the meal, which I feel like are the 2 least liked parts of the meal. I personally love pumpkin pie, but I feel like most people, if they're gonna cut something, it's the pumpkin pie and the turkey.
Well, you think they're going to cut the turkey?
I do think so. I think,
Turkey is
but
it's not my favorite part of Thanksgiving, but it is like the
But, like,
most famous part of
what is, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's the least favorite thing on the plate.
I don't know, cranberry sauce?
Oh, I don't like cranberry sauce. But some people are dead set on it. But anyway, send it to those people. And then, while your phone's still out, scroll on down, give us a review, hopefully a 5-star review, and interact with us on the Instagram and follow us and like us and please like us.
So we're going to take a little holiday break.
Holiday snooze.
Yeah. So we'll be off for a few weeks. You've heard our favorites.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll reshare like the listener favorites.
Which are like always unexpected.
Yeah, I think people like the TikTok dives. We'll be back for our second birthday episode in a couple weeks. So we will see you then.
See you next Tuesday.
See you on a Tuesday soon.
Oh yeah, see you on a future Tuesday, not next Tuesday, because we'll be on holiday.
Yeah. See ya.